I'm an Eve clone, and I will just
Oh wait, I forgot something. Oh wait, it was in my hand this whole time. Never mind.
There are two of us now. We're Eve
Didn't I
clones.
just-
There are two of us now. We're
yeah.
Eve clones. There are two of us. I'm an Eve head.
Honestly, I never expected to talk about Mega Man in my channel. Mega Man X is a fan favorite for many reasons. I have a lot of things to talk about this game, so I was like, sure, I'll make a video on it. Now the real question is it overhyped, or does it deserve the hype?
Mega Man X came out for many consoles over the years. It first came out on the SNES in 1993 for Japan and 1994 for the US and Europe. Then it came out for the PC not long after in 1995 and 1996 for the US and Japan respectively. After that, it wasn't until 2006 where it came out for the PS2 and GameCube with the Mega Man X collection, but only for the US. It then came out for the Wii Virtual Console in 2011 for both the US and Japan, and 2012 for Europe, and then for the Wii U Virtual Console in 2013 for all three regions. It actually came out for the new 3DS Virtual Console as well in 2016 for some reason. And finally, it came out for the recent consoles in 2018 with the Mega Man X Legacy Collection. That's the version I'm using for this review. It did actually come out on smartphones in 2011.
But why?
This history segment is looking a lot like my Sonic Adventure video. If you've ever played a Mega Man game before, this is just that. What it comes down to really is a more refined Mega Man experience. You move right and left since it's a 2D platformer. You can jump, dash, wall jump, and attack. You're able to get two different types of upgrades throughout the game. The first upgrade is the armor. There are 4 armor upgrades in total: the head, legs, arms, and body. The leg upgrades give X the ability to dash. It's not a default movement option, so it would be best to get this upgrade as soon as possible. It's also really useful. The body armor makes you take 50% less damage. The head armor breaks some blocks by headbutting them. And the arm upgrade is another piece you would want, as it allows you to charge your attacks, allowing you to make much stronger attacks.
Now that's a useful upgrade. I actually still think the leg upgrade is the most useful.
The other set of upgrades you can get are the weapon upgrades. This is pretty typical to see in Mega Man games. These upgrades allow you to use different types of attacks than just the pellets you would initially use. The way you would obtain these weapons is by completing a level from the 8 that you could choose from. Every time you beat the boss, you unlock the power of that boss. The powers you can get are Shotgun Ice, Electric Spark, Rolling Shield, Homing Torpedo, Boomerang Cutter, Chameleon Sting, Storm Tornado, and Fire Wave. When you use any of these weapons, you have a set amount of ammo that you can use before you can't use them anymore. But if you see a weird sphere, it will restore some ammo back, so not all hope is lost. However, it's mainly best to save these weapons for the bosses, as every boss has its weakness. As I said, you have 8 levels initially. You select from any of these levels, beat it, and move on to the next level. There are only 4 levels you can find the armor upgrades in, so make sure you look for those. At the end of every level, there is a boss which after you beat, you get their weapon.
Didn't I just say that though?
But for the most part, that's how all levels play. Now I will say that this game is pretty difficult. So difficult that I actually haven't beaten every level while I'm reviewing this game. Now you may think that I'm talking about just these 8 levels, but no, those levels are pretty easy. There are 4 more levels after you beat all 8, and in order to fight the final boss, you must complete the 3 before the final. These stages are called Sigma stages. They are much more challenging than the initial 8.
I am literally stuck on the first one.
It's not even the levels that are hard, it's the bosses that come when you get to the end of the level. That spider one is so annoying. It requires a lot of skill to be able to beat them, and if I dedicated more time into the game, I will end up beating it, but I don't spend as much time on games as I used to. Mega Man is one of those series that I never really think of its music, but whenever I listen to it, I always wonder, why is that? Mega Man music is amazing, and this game is no exception. Every level has a bopping track, the bosses have a bopping track, the stage selection has one too. It's like no matter what you're doing in this game, you will hear a bopping track. My favorite song has to be from Armored Armadillo stage. That song is really great. It's many people's favorite too, but of course, there are other songs that people like, such as Spark Mandrill stage, which is also pretty good. Every Mega Man game has a story, believe it or not. Although this game is pretty short, it has a story too. Now I should note, this is a different timeline from the original Mega Man series. The main character is Mega Man X. Dr. Light is who created him, but Dr. Kane is who studied him and made robots just like him. Those robots are called Reploids, and that's what Zero is. Dr. Kane also made Sigma, the main antagonist of this game and the series as a whole. Kane made the Maverick Hunters so they could protect humanity. He assigned Sigma as their leader, but later Sigma was like,
you know what? What if I use this organization to take over the world?
And that is why there is conflict against robots. So X and Zero are the main two who are trying to save this world. They do a bunch of fighting, tracking down Sigma's base, and protecting the world. Eventually, you get to one of Sigma's bases where Zero ends up sacrificing himself. He did it in order to save X, but he really didn't do anything other than destroy himself. So then X ends up fighting through all 4 of Sigma's bases and fights Sigma himself. He does end up beating Sigma, but after the credits, Sigma says that X only defeated a temporary body, so Sigma is still alive in computer form pretty much. That's why there are more than one of these games. How do I know all of this without beating the game?
Well, that's easy, by looking this stuff up.
This game looks more defined than the original Mega Man games. That should be obvious as it's not an NES game anymore. It's pretty great looking if anything. This game is pretty friendly towards beginners since there are no truly complicated mechanics introduced. If anything, the only thing that is hard is mastering the game and being skilled at it. Since this game has no true saves and goes with the password system, you typically have to play the levels over again if you didn't save the password in a note or something.
Why does this system even need to exist?
But it shouldn't be a huge problem as this game is pretty short. That's where the difficulty really comes from. Well, that and the fact that you actually have to spend time to get decent. Saving really isn't a big problem in recent times though, as if you're playing this game from the Legacy Collection, there's typically a save option after you beat a level or lose all your lives.
Mega Man X was a lot of fun for the amount of time I spent on it. I never played a Mega Man game before this one, so it was a pretty refreshing experience. I would say this game is great even for people who never played a Mega Man game before. It's a lot of fun, and I can now say that this game did deserve its hype. I'll eventually beat the rest of this game, and since I have the Legacy Collection, I'll play the games included as well. As for reviewing them, I don't think I will. Now someone, please tell me how to beat the spider boss in Sigma Stage 1!